The rules of money, they're being rewritten right now, right in front of us. And that is the real story behind one of the most dramatic financial events of the year, the unprecedented surge in the price of gold. Gold has absolutely smashed through all-time highs, recently soaring past the historic $4,000 per ounce mark for the first time ever. It's a number that has, frankly, left even the pros scratching their heads.
Let's put that into perspective for a second. We're talking about a staggering 55% gain in 2025 alone. Look, this isn't just a little rally. This is a full-on parabolic move that has left investors asking, what on earth is fueling this fire?
So you might think, oh, it's just inflation, right? Well, the answer is way more complex than that. What we're seeing signals a huge seismic shift in the entire global financial landscape. And to really get what's happening now, we have to look at the old rules. The ones that just got tossed right out the window.
Okay, so to really grasp what's happening, we gotta rewind a bit and look at the traditional playbook for gold. For decades, it was all pretty predictable.
So for years and years, gold's price was all about this one thing, real interest rates. Now, what is that? Simple. It's the actual profit you make on a super safe investment like a government bond after you account for inflation. It's the real return you're getting on your money.
And the rule of thumb was super simple. When those real interest rates went up, making things like bonds look really juicy, gold prices went down. And why? Well, gold just sits there, right? It doesn't pay you any interest. So it was this predictable dance, this inverse relationship that you could practically set your watch to for decades. But then, back in early 2022, the playbook was just ripped up. Something fundamentally changed. All of a sudden, even as real interest rates started climbing, the price of gold didn't just stay put, it blasted off in the complete opposite direction of what every single textbook model predicted.
And you can see it right here. This historical relationship just completely shattered. It broke down right around the time of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This wasn't just a blip. It was a massive signal that totally new, way more powerful forces were now in charge, rewriting the rules for gold in real time. So, if the old rules are out, what's behind this new gold rush? Well, the answer isn't with everyday investors like you and me. Nope. It's with the biggest players in the game, the world's central banks. Think about it. The moment Russia's foreign currency reserves were frozen back in 2022, that was a global wake-up call. It sent a massive shockwave through the financial world. You had countries all over the globe suddenly looking at their own dollar reserves and thinking, wait a minute, could that happen to us? And what happened next? A historic buying spree. Central banks, who used to be kind of a minor player, are now a dominant force. They're gobbling up over a fifth of all the gold in the world. On some markets, their buying activity has just exploded. We're talking a 5-fold increase. It's wild. Now, if you ask them, they'll give you the official reasons, right? Diversification, performance during a crisis, all that good stuff. But let's be real. The real story here is a huge strategic pivot. They're moving towards an asset that is completely outside of any single nation's political control. It's the ultimate neutral safe haven in what's become a very polarized world. And this whole central bank gold rush, it's just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. A puzzle that's really about the future of money itself. See, this isn't happening in a vacuum. It's a key move in a much bigger strategy that's picking up speed. De-dollarization. It's basically a coordinated effort to rely less and less on the US dollar as the world's go-to currency. And leading the charge are the nations in the expanding BRICS bloc. Think China, Russia, and their partners. They are actively trying to dismantle the dollar's dominance. And they're not just buying gold. They're building an entirely new parallel financial system, striking deals to trade oil in their own currencies, creating payment networks that completely bypass Western control. So here's the bottom line, the crucial point. The relationship is becoming crystal clear. As confidence and reliance on the US dollar begin to shift, that value has to go somewhere. And right now, it's flowing directly into gold, fueling this absolutely incredible ascent. Okay, so this whole shift has totally transformed gold. It's not just some passive hedge against inflation anymore. No way. It's now an active tool, maybe even a weapon, in a new era of geopolitical and financial competition. So the big question is, what happens next? And it's not just governments. For everyday investors, this new reality is sparking a huge revival in things like gold-backed ETFs.
People are essentially following the central bank's lead, looking for that same shelter from all this global uncertainty. And you guessed it, the world's top financial analysts are definitely taking notice.
And when you look at the forecasts from the major banks, wow, they are incredibly bullish. You've got UBS calling for $4,200 pretty soon. And some market watchers are even throwing out numbers like $10,000 by 2030. Now, look, these aren't just wild guesses. They reflect a fundamental rethinking of gold's role in the entire global economy. Which leaves us with a really provocative final thought. In a world where alliances are fracturing and currencies are competing, is gold reemerging as the one ultimate global asset? It really seems like the game has changed and gold is right back in the center of it all. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.